And we saw some interesting developments from the Wyatt Sick6. First of all, lots of people wanted something more than videotapes. We've been getting videotapes. You've been saying, just put a VHS player out there. Let's get it ready. We know it's coming. And seemingly some people in the internet wrestling community have been getting annoyed by that. Mm-hmm. We got another video, was delivered on the Pat McAfee show today, which I'm still interested to see how all of that is going to turn out.
Yeah.
Because they're not giving us anything.
No, I don't know if it's necessarily supposed to be like leading to anything either.
Well, but why?
I just think it's a mainstream way to get them out there.
But why would they keep telling Pat you lied? Just because he's trying to say that nothing's happening?
Well, not even that, but like the first time it happened, he tried to say it was like trying to promote the military guy that was with him, his book or whatever. And so I think that's when it kind of started, was like, it was us. You know it was us, but you lied. Like, I think it was something like that.
Gotcha,
maybe.
okay.
I don't know. But
so far simpler than what I'm thinking about.
Possibly.
I gotcha.
Or I missed something with it too.
So we get a videotape on Pat McAfee show today, and they play it on Monday Night Raw. Let's start there. And it was Eric Rowan. And listen, you and I sat right here in these very chairs 3 weeks ago and watched the first video with our jaws on the floor.
Yeah.
First of all, that we saw Bo Dallas and Uncle Howdy.
Yeah.
Then they started asking about Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
And ruining his legacy.
Yeah.
And we're like, they can't ask these questions.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing?
Yeah. I got personal really quickly.
3 weeks later, we watched the Eric Rowan video where he talks about Brody and he talks about Bray and the way he talks about losing a family member and not wanting to be here anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, there are times in some of these videos, not talking about the Wyatt Sick6, but just like videos that WWE do where they're trying to tell a story where you can tell that the emotion and like the feelings and stuff aren't necessarily there. You honestly, in this video, like my heart already was broken for Eric Rowan because, outside of Bo, Rowan's taken this just as hard because of his relationship with Bray, but also because of what happened with Brody and everything like that. And so, I just watching that and watching the pure there's a moment where he breaks down and I'm like 90% sure that was
real
emotion, because how could it not be real emotion? And just all the things that he said broke my heart. But the final line is what got me. When we'll take our broken hearts and make beautiful art. Yeah. And it's like, that's really deep on a lot of levels, because one, I don't know if you've watched the Bray Wyatt documentary yet.
I still haven't.
One of the things that he did when he was released was he started painting and making art and stuff and like reflecting his emotions and stuff through the art.
Interesting. Okay.
So this was kind of like to me, it seemed like a callback to that. And I think Rowan does art stuff too. So I think it's just a callback to all of that of, we're hurting, but we're going to make beautiful art, and their beautiful art is going to be wrecking people. Yep. Which I love. I absolutely love it.
What they deem as beautiful, we may seem as destruction. And we saw that afterwards because Chad Gable said he was going to call out Bo Dallas.
Yep.
Now, first of all, I asked you this question offline. I'm going to ask you again. Are you surprised they're calling him Bo Dallas?
Not really. Just because that's the name he's been known by. And it's been known for a long, for years before they even did anything that Bo was Bray's brother. So I think just sticking that together, like keeping that, is fine, because it's just not, it's what people know him as the most. And so I don't think they're going to change it. They may change it down the line, but I don't think they're changing it yet.
I thought that by the way they introduced him in that documentary, which I haven't watched yet, but I do know they refer to him as Taylor on the documentary. And social media is referred to him as Taylor, friends and family, but not WWE social media. And all that kind of stuff. And the way and how personal this got, how quickly it got so personal, I thought they would just go with Taylor.
Yeah.
I'm not mad that they're not.
No.
I just think it would have made sense if you're going to do it.
Yeah.
Just do it now.
Yeah, and I like the idea. I mean, I like the idea of them all changing their names to Wyatt, like their last name to Wyatt.
Sure.
So, like, you know, Taylor Wyatt you could do, and Eric Wyatt, and Nikki Wyatt, or whatever, you know, because we don't know anything about, we do, but we don't at the same time, why Joe Gacy's in the group.
Right.
Why Dexter Loomis is in the group.
Right.
Why Nikki's in the group.
Yep.
Like, we can pick pieces together and put them in. But the two obvious ones were Bo and Eric.
And Rowan, yep.
And so now I think we need to hear from those three at some point pretty soon as to, like, their backstory.
You know, when Sam Roberts was talking about this today, and I'm not taking the point from him, he made the same point we did last week in the fact that Nikki was the only one that was shown still in her mask. We did not see her face.
Yeah.
We haven't seen her face on TV, in person, or in a video.
Yeah.
Do you think this would be an extreme slap in the face to Nikki Cross? Do you think the reason they're not doing that is they're going to reveal that character as Alexa Bliss, not Nikki Cross?
No. Because, I mean, there's a chance, but I don't think they would do that, because that would be would suck really bad for Nikki.
Mm-hmm.
I do think there are going to be 6 members, and I do think Alexa is going to be the 6th member. And I think the videos and stuff, I don't know how much you got into the QR codes and stuff, and I think they kind of played it in some of the videos. I depend
on you for that.
But there was the lady, like, there's the woman in the wedding dress.
Okay.
That was kind of dressed up. I think she could be part of that, like playing into that.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, I think there's a chance that she could kind of take that spot, but again, that would just be
weird,
horrible for Nikki Cross.
I just wonder, like, why? Why have they not shown her face? Why is she the one that they haven't shown her face? There's a reason.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Regardless, we saw them all in person tonight for the first time since the debut 4 weeks ago. We saw them all in person. Chad Gable, again, called out Bo Dallas. Bo Dallas showed up. And then the Creed brothers finally uniting with Bo Dallas. We did not see Ivy Nile, but we did see the Creed brothers finally uniting with Chad Gable, not Bo Dallas. Sorry about that. Attacking Bo Dallas and Bo laughing.
The whole time.
Yeah. And then, before the lights hit, you heard Bo say, "There you are."
Mm-hmm. Like he has been in the videos. Yeah.
And like, what?
It was so cool.
Wait a minute. What?
Yeah, it was awesome.
Oh, man.
It was great. And then the lights go out, and then just the presentation of this group is so spectacular.
Yep.
It's so good because it's very like horror film-esque of you never really get to see the monster or the killer or whatever the case is during the movie. Like, you get to see them towards the end, but they're always like the strobe lights are going and everything else. Sure. You get like flashes of what they look like and things, but you don't get like an in-depth look. The only person we've got an in-depth look of in their character was Uncle Howdy a couple of times. And so I love that they're showing us these characters, but not giving us too much at the same time, because I think it's working really, really well what they're doing, because they're giving us stuff every week. And I know the videos are boring or starting to become repetitive. I personally love them. I think they're some of the best
great
stuff.
They're a masterpiece.
Yeah.
I just want...
We need more stuff to start happening at the same time.
We need them to connect to what is happening on screen.
With Chad Gable,
So that we're not splitting like, okay, there's this Wyatt Sick thing, and then there's Monday Night Raw. You know what I mean?
I think this is a great follow-up to last week, Chad being in the office.
Yes.
So now he's actually walking out to the ring, to where next week, does he cut a promo from the ring? Does Bo Dallas cut a promo from the ring by himself? Does, what does that look like? What takes place? So I think there's a lot of stuff that's starting to connect together and starting to make a lot of sense.
You mentioned before we started recording, what if they being Bo Dallas and Uncle Howdy, show up on screen live in person at the same time?
I don't know how you do that, but
I mean,
Ooh, that'd be awesome.
they could figure it out.
Yeah.
I'm sure they can figure it out.
Yeah. I mean, that was the best part about the pandemic was you got stuff like that because you
Exactly.
could edit it even though it didn't always look great.
The thing to remember about this as we're getting more and more, and I feel like that next week we need to see, again, more in-person stuff.
Yes.
Maybe not even the whole group, but we need more than just Nikki delivering a tape.
Yeah.
The thing to remember, and I keep going back to this, we still haven't physically seen them assault Chad Gable.
No.
We've seen what we thought
Yeah.
was an attack,
Yeah.
but they have not touched him
Yeah.
outside of that. He's touched them now,
Mm-hmm.
but they haven't touched him.
No, and I think that's by design. Like I think that's a really sort of important detail that's going on because the first time they're probably going to touch him might be like the show before SummerSlam or something like that. Because I personally believe we are heading to Chad Gable versus either Bo Dallas or Uncle Howdy, one of the two. And that could be where you see
Alexa.
Well, no, that's where you could see Chad Gable beating up Bo Dallas, and then like something happens. Uncle Howdy's in the ring now and goes after Chad or something. I don't know. But I think that's really important of these characters, and I love that they're doing this where the characters are the ones that inflicted the pain on Chad Gable, allegedly, because we haven't seen anything like that. But Bo Dallas is the one being abused now. Like it's not Uncle Howdy being abused. It's not anybody. It's Bo Dallas himself, and he understands that, and he wants that because it's working. Like his message and everything he's telling is working. So I love that it's not this cut and dry, scary story, but it's like there's so many layers and so many directions that they could go in.
Yeah, it really is. It's the canvas is completely wide open.
Yeah.
And that's so cool. But at the same time, as we've said before, that's also a dangerous place to be.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you could very easily draw something that you can't draw over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Terrible analogy, but
no, it makes sense. Makes sense. And they have stayed true to to what they've said. They have been very realistic and not like,
pretended like the past didn't happen.
Right. Or like the lights go out and like they just appear in the ring, whatever the case is. Like I know Nikki Cross hides under the ring and everything, but wrestlers hide under the ring all the time. Sure. So that's one thing I'm like, that's realistic to me because people do that apparently.
Yep.
But like we're not getting like the Undertaker shooting lightning things or
don't diss the Undertaker. That was cool.
Probably at the time it was, but going back and watching it, boy, that looked rough.
Listen, I love watching some of that stuff.
Now I will say the coolest thing Taker, like the coolest thing creepy Undertaker did to me was when he had, was it Kevin Nash?
In the coffin?
In the coffin, look at that was awesome. Like that's really creepy.
No, coming out of the flaming coffin.
That was also really cool with Randy Orton. That was awesome.
God, that's so cool.